Oh, there you go. There you go. And now we start the fire auction right there. We get everybody ready. Hey, everybody! Thank everybody for coming out tonight. There's a lot of excitement building over this season. We've been building up to it. We think we have a special group here. If you got to be at the scrims last night, you got to see us play a top-ranked team, 5 team in big Class 2A, a top-ranked team, a top 10 ranked team in Idabel in Class 3A, and I feel like we kind of whipped all of them. We look pretty good out there. So, you guys are the heart of the program, and when I mean it, like, the community pours into these guys so much. We want to get them nice things to where not only do they have a great experience with it, but they have these memories of people loving on them and pouring into them. So thank y'all so much for showing up tonight. And we're going to have a fun time bringing in the 2025 season with the whole Bill Wolverines. Now, to start it off and christen the season just right, our cheerleaders are going to give us a couple of cheers here.
It's the 8. Nope, never mind. It's origin. It's all. It's
All right. So we're getting ready to start the pie auction. If you don't know, we got the world-renowned Mr. Tom Johnson that's going to run it for us. So here's how it works. We'll bring up, say, the 7th grade cheer. We're not going to tell you if there's going to be 1 pie bid or up to 3. You're going to run the risk if you don't bid on the first one. There might be up to 3, there might just be 1. You bid whoever the highest bidder is gets to come down here and gets to lovingly and supportively throw a pie in their face. All right, 7th grade cheerleaders, come on up. Coach Wilson, you ready? This is also the introduction, so she's going to have them introduce them in their way right here.
Hello, everyone. We are going to have our girls introduce themselves, but just really quickly, we wanted to say that Coach Jones and I are so excited to work with girls this year, and they have already done so amazing. They went to camp and they got so many awards, and they just did stellar. So we can't wait to see how much they grow and what they do by the end of the year. So I will start over here and I'll let them introduce themselves.
My name's Dawn Everly.
My name is Leslie Johnson.
My name's Addison Chester. My name's Claire Johnson. My name's Paisley Neely.
Here we go. My name's Tom Johnson. Let's have an auction, and what are you going to get here? Who'll be 200 on the starting? 200. I had 200 here. 1 200 by. You 1 2. You can do 1 200 by. Got 100 bill. Thank you, quarter. 100 bucks. 100 quarter by. 100 bill. 100 quarter by. 100 quarter. 1 bid. Quarter by. 100 quarter. 1 quarter by. 100 bill. 100 quarter by. 100 quarter. 1 bid. 100 quarter by. 1 quarter. Get your hands there. 100 bill. 100 quarter. 50. Let's go. 50, 50, 50 here, 50 to buy, 50 here, 50 to buy, get 25, gonna be 30 to buy, 25, 30, 30 here, get 25 here, gonna be 30 to buy, 30 to 35 to buy, gonna be 35, 30 here, gonna be 35, 35, 40, 40, 40, 40 to buy, 35, 40, 40, now for here, 45 to buy, gonna be 45 here, 45, 50 to buy, 45, 50, 50 here, 45, 50 to buy, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50 to buy here, 55 to buy, gonna be 55, I'll be 50 here, gonna be 55 to buy, gonna be 55, 55, one more. 55, now 60, I knew the horse in the race, 55, 60, 55, 55, 55, 60, that's 65, 100, you say 100, and a quarter, 100 bill, 100 quarter mile, 100 bill, 100 quarter, 1 big quarter mile, 100 bill, 100 quarter, last call quarter, sold him 100 bucks, how you want that charge to? I'll pick it, just jet. All right, Jimmy Jet. You're making it hard on me, kid, and we know. Hey, I want to brag of the community real quick. About 50 years ago, this old fat boy was playing football here, and we played. The practice field was the parking lot on Friday nights. So during the week, we got to practice on it had holes in it, had broken glass in it. It was quite a deal. The field was terrible. The equipment was worse than that. We had spiders and snakes down here in the dungeon where we had our dressing rooms. So the community has come a long way. You ought to give yourselves a good round of applause. Jimmy, you get it one. Throw your pie in the face. Cole, will you go pie one up for me?
Oh, who you want? Who is the target? No, it's gonna be Moses too. We're going to do one more. Here we go. 25 and 30.
I'm in 20 here, gonna be 30 to buy, gonna be 30, get 30, get 30, 30, 35 to buy, gonna be 35. I'm in 30 here, going 35 to buy, gonna be 35 here, gonna be 35, gonna be 35, gonna be 35, gonna be 40 to buy, 35 to 40. I'm 40 here, gonna be 40 to buy, 35, 40, 45, 45, 50 to buy, 45, 50. Now 5 here, 55, 60 to buy, 55, 60 to buy, 60 to buy, 165. And now 70, 70, 70, 70, 65, gonna be 75, 75, 75, 80 to buy, 75, 80, 80 here, 75, 80, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 95, 95, 95 to buy, 95, 95, 100 to 100, and 100 here, 95, 100 to buy, 95 here, 100 to buy, 95, 100, last call, 100, 95, 100 to buy, 95 to 100. I sold him $95, Lambert Farmer Ranch, Lambert Farmer Ranch, 51 out.
That was very tender and loving right here. Some of y'all have to have a lot of aggression. You've been wanting to take out for a while right here. Here's your legal opportunity to do it in front of everybody. 7th grade football. Come on up, fellas. Look at him. Look at him feeling a little bit awkward and shy here. Let's, under over, who says the most words right here? Take the bids right now. Come up, tell us something interesting about yourself and say that.
I'm James Grizzle, and I like football.
My name's Jason and I'm tall.
I'm Jackson, and I'm racing. My name's Chevy, and I like football. My name's Grayson, and I'm short. My name's Rowdy, and I'm good at my numbers.
Don't forget, you also have a last name you can say too. It's good.
My name is Boyd Lockett, and I get to win the ball this year.
My name's Rushton, and name's Foster. My name is Gideon Parker, and this guy's my dad.
My name is Brady, and I like sports.
Brody Rogers. My name's Brody Rogers, and I like football.
There we go. Look at him. He got so choked up talking about football right there.
Yeah, 100 quarter mile, 100 bucks, quarter mile, 100 quarter. On 7th grade here, 100 quarter mile, quarter and a half, 75, 175, gonna be 200 to do. I did quarter mile, 200 quarter, 200 quarter half, 75, 275, 275, 300 mile, 300 quarter mile, 3 quarter half, 3 and a half, 3 and a half, 3 quarter half, 3 and a half, 275, now 400, and 400 mile, 375, 400 mile, 400 mile, 375, 4. I did quarter mile, 4 quarter half, 4 quarter at the mile, 4 quarter half, and a half here, 4 quarter half, now 75. We're 75, 4 mile, 475, 505 here, thinking quarter mile, 5 quarter. I'm in 5 here, 5 quarter mile, quarter, half, 5 and a half, 5 and a half to mile, 5 quarter at the mile, 5 quarter at the mile, 5 quarter at the mile, 5 and a half, 5 quarter, 5 and a half. Haul you out, 5 quarter, 5 and a half, 5 quarter here, at the mile, 5 quarter at the mile, 5 quarter at the mile, 5 quarter and a half. Last call, fair warning, 5 quarter, 5 and a half. Now 75, now 600, 600 to mile, 575, 600 to mile, 600. And 600 here, 575, 600 to mile, 600, 600, 575, 600 to mile, 575, 600. And I have sold them. 575. Thank you, sir. Yeah, because he knows coming.
Hey, where's Tate?
Oh, I
Come here.
Oh, yeah, Daddy.
Tate,
Come on, boy.
Ready? Right here.
Come on, Tate. Go, Tate.
Get him, Tate!
Get him.
All right, brothers, just do another one. Let's start with 100, quarter mile, 100 mile, 100 quarter half, 75, 200 here, 200 quarter mile, 200 quarter half, 2.5 here now, 75, 75, 250, 75, 300 mile, 3 and a quarter. 1/4 mile, 3 here, 3 and a quarter mile, 3 and a quarter mile, 3 here, 1/4, half, and a half, gonna be 75, 375, quarter mile, 4, quarter mile, half, 4, half, gonna be 75, 475, 475, 475, 100 mile, 500 and quarter, 5 and a quarter, 5 quarter, half, 5 and a half, 75, 550 to 75. I'm 550, gonna be 75, go 75, go 75, 550 go 75, 550 with you here, 575, 550 go 75, 550 go 75. You're in at 550, 75, now 600, and 600 a mile, 575, 600, 600 a mile, 575, 600. And 575, 600 quarter mile, 6 quarter, and 6 quarter mile, 6 quarter, 6 quarter half, 6 and a half, could be 75, 75, 700 here, quarter mile, 7 quarter half, 7 and a half, 7 quarters, 7 and a half, 7 quarter half to mile, 7 quarter and a half, on a half to mile, 7 quarter half to mile, 7, you gotta be 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 to 75, 750 to 75, 750 to 75, 750 to 75, 775, 800 a mile, 800 a mile, and 775, 800 a mile, 800, 800 a mile, and 775, 800 a mile. 75, 800, and 8 miles, 77, 800, quarter mile, 8 and quarter, 8 quarter mile, 800, quarter mile, 8 quarter mile, 800 here, quarter mile, 8 and quarter, I mean 800, quarter mile, 8 and quarter, last call, final offer, 8 and quarter, 800, quarter mile, 8 and quarter, half, quarter, half a mile, almost, you did it for a little while, 8 and a half, 8 and a quarter, 8 and a half, 8 and quarter of a half a mile, 8 and quarter of a half, 8 and a half, you said that a while ago, 8 and a half, 8 and a half, 8 and a quarter after mile, 8 and a quarter. Probably if you get $1,000, it'll knock him out. 8 and a quarter, 8 and a half, 8 and a quarter and a half, you want them a half, 8 and a quarter and a half, 8 and a half. One more time. Sold him, 8 and a quarter. Jimmy Jet. Jimmy Jet. You get to pick one. You get to pick one.
Did you see the look of the nerves just take over the room?
Oh, yeah, that's it.
She's fired up, she's ready to go.
Football takes cash or check. Cheer takes cash, check, or app. Cash app. I'll take that. Thank you. Here we go. Get to do it again. 200 a quarter. 2 bids. 2 and a quarter mile. 2 here. 1 quarter mile. 2 and a quarter half. 2 and a half. 75. 250. 75. 250. 75. 75. 75. 75. 300 here. 3 and a quarter. half, 3.5, now 75, 375 to mine, 375, 4 and 4 bid, 4 quarter here, 4 mine, 4 half, 4 can be 75, 4 75, 500, 5 quarter mine, 5 quarter half, now 75, 75, 600 mile, 600 quarter mile, 6 and quarter half, 6.5 can be 75, 675, 700, and a quarter mile, 7 quarter mile, 7 quarter. Hey, you got me 7 quarter here, quarter half, 7 half, now 775. 775, 750, 775, 775, 800 mile, 800 mile, 8 quarter, back to that 1,000, 8 quarter, 800 quarter mile, 8 quarter, half, gotta be 75, 875 to mile, 850, 75, 875, 850, 75 to mile, 875, one more time, 875, 850, 75, 875, 900 to mile, 900, 875, 900 to mile, 875, 900 to mile, 875, 900 to mile. All your cheering section might ought to help you a little bit. 875 going over 900. You're in. 875, 900. Last call 900. Sullivan 875. Holly Foster 875. Thank you.
Now listen, every little sister and brother's been real nice. I know you've been waiting for this moment.
Come on, Journey girl.
Oh yeah, Rustin! Oh yeah, Journey! Oh yeah,
Coach Wilson, Coach Jones.
All right, this is our 8th grade group. They've been great leaders. We've loved having them. They have done so much for us even just this summer. And so we're excited to have them. And here they are. My name is Autumn Doe.
My name's Flavia Ford. My name's Lily Leftwich. My name's Paisley Enan. My name's Kinley Nutzel. My name's Delarney. My name's Yes, all of that.
All right, here we go. 8th grade cheerleaders. $100 on the line, 100 quarter line, quarter and a half, 75. Gonna be doing it here, 2 quarter line, quarter and a half. Now 75, 275, 300 line, 3, 300 line, go to 3. Quarter line, 3 and a quarter here, 3 here, quarter line, 3 and a half. I have to bind 3.5, 3 1/4 at the bind, 3 1/4 half. Gotta be half, 3 1/4, 3.5, 3 1/4 at the bind, 3 1/4 half of that, 3 1/4 and a half. And a half, gotta be 75, 375, 350 75. I bet 350 here, you want them 75 to bind. Ben, you want them 375, and 350 75, 350 75, 350 75, 350 75. Sold them at 350. How do you want that, Ben? Carter? Who do you want? Lily!
Lies, I saw her throw it away.
going to do another one. Here we go. I had $100, quarter mile, 100 quarter, half, 100 quarter, half, quarter, half, going to be 75, 150, 75, 175, going to be 200, what am I doing, 175, 200, going to be 2, what am I 200, 175, 200, going to be 175, you're going to be 200, what am I 200, what am I 2, I'm 2 bit, 2, what am I 200, 175, what am I 200, last call, 200, 200, and 200. Yeah, quarter, 2 and a quarter, 2 minutes, 2 and a quarter, and a half, 2 and a quarter at the bound, 2 and a quarter and a half, and a half here, 2 and a quarter at the bound, 2 and a quarter and a half. So, 2 and a quarter, Lambert, feed, and somebody else, Holman Ranch, Warman Ranch, yep. Come down and pick it, Chrissy, who you want to get. Remember, you can do the same one again if you'd like to.
Eighth grade boys, come on up, fellas. I know what I think's going to say the most on this one. Come up. Introduce yourself, say something sweet to the audience, let them know something about you. Hey, you should hear sometime how that arm got in that cast right there. It has something to do with a guy named Raul and a scooter. Go. Hi, my name is Corey. My name's Raul, and I'm talking to Casey. I'm Johnny Mafla, and I like dinosaurs. I'm Eli Robson, and I'm blind.
My name is Wyatt Stafford, I go to school. My name is Grayson Wong, and I go to school.
I go to school. They better not be school.
My name's Tough Richard, and I go to school.
My name's Jagger, and I go to Holmville High School.
My name is Zach, and I also go to Holman High School.
You had the perfect opportunity to promote the band right there. All right, you guys gather on in here. There's so many to choose from.
All right, let's get group right here. Who'll be 200 on the middle of mine? 200. I am 200 here. What am I 200 mine? Got 100. Thank you. Quarter mine. 100 quarter. 1 quarter mine. 100 100 quarter. 1 quarter mine. Got $100. 100 quarter mine. Quarter and a half. 75, 175, 175 about 175, 175, 200 about 175, 2 and a quarter, and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 75, 300, and 3 bid, 3 and a quarter, 3 and a half to buy, 3 and a quarter, half to buy, 3 and a quarter, half, and 3 and a quarter here, 1 and a half to buy, 3 and a quarter, half to buy, 3 and a quarter, half to buy, 3 and a quarter, half, 3 and a half, 3 and a half, 3 and a quarter, last call, fair warning, 3 and a quarter, 3 and a half, 3 and a quarter, 3 and a half, now 75, now 400. 375, 400, 375, 400, 375, 400, 400, 400. Holly wanted at 400. 375, 400. Well, you're moving. 375, 400, 375, 400. And I sold him $375. Carrie, how you want that done? Pretty printed.
Get up, boys.
Hey, let me do it.
Pretty imprinted about that one. Appreciate it. There you go. All right, guys, we're going to do another one. Here we go. I had 100. Add a quarter mile, quarter mile, 100 quarter mile, quarter mile, 100 quarter half, 100 half, 100 half could be 75, 175 divided 200 could do, what am I doing here? A quarter, I do a quarter, do a quarter, 1 quarter by 2 here, 1 quarter by 2 and a quarter. I mean 2 quarter half, 2 and a half. Now 75, 275, 275, 300 by 300. And 3 bid, 3 and a quarter by 3 and a quarter, 3 and a quarter, 3 and a half. And a half here, 3 and a quarter, half divided 3 and a quarter, half divided 3 and a quarter, half divided 3 and a quarter, half. And a half, 3 and a quarter, half, 3 and a quarter, half divided 3 and a quarter, half. And a half divided 3 and a quarter, but half divided 3 and a quarter. Last call, fair warning, 3 and a quarter, 3 and a half, 3 and a half, 3 and a half. Now 75, 375, now 400, and 370. You told me that 3 times. 375, 400, and 400. You want them at 400? 375. Same way. Pretty imprinted. Thank you, guys.
Don't forget what we like is after you get done bidding the pie and you have them over, come over here, see the lady, pay the lady as we're going through the process right here. All right, next. We done both that things. Good. Before we do that, we always like to put some seniors on the spot to make sure they're awkward and they can work on their public speaking. So we have a senior football player going to come up and tell us what they expect of the season. That's Aaron. Look at him trying to hide. And we have a senior cheerleader going to come talk about the season. Now they don't know we're really bringing them up here to auction both on pies right now. I'm just kidding. You want to start us off right here? Who y'all think's going to speak for? Right over here.
Hi y'all, how are you guys doing tonight? Good? Yeah? Okay, well we just want to start by saying thank you all for coming out tonight. We have worked really hard as a team and we're so excited to cheer this year. We're excited.
You haven't crossed that minute mark yet.
Oh, we're so excited. I practiced this earlier, I'm not gonna lie. But, yeah, we're so excited for the season. Yeah, I don't want to step on that. We're so excited for the season and am I done talking yet?
Yes, sir. Like she said, I really appreciate y'all coming out. Yeah, we're really excited to play for y'all. We practice really hard too. You know, we got this man always yelling at us for no reason. But yes, y'all come out. I want to see this. I want to see this pack for real. Like, I want all y'all to go to the away games because we got a whole lot of away games for no reason. Bro. So whenever y'all go to the away games, I want y'all to pack so like it feel like home, you know. So y'all come out, y'all cheer loud. We do this for y'all, man. All right, I love y'all. Peace out.
Freshman cheerleaders! Come on, don't be scared. Coach? Which one of you wants to start us out with?
My name's Bailey Worthing. My name's Ashley Ford. My name's Ira Hernandez. My name's Emily Goodman. My name's Amy McKay. My name's Avery Malin.
All right. Here we go. $100 here, $200 starting, 200. I am 200 here, 100 bill, 100 quarter by 100 quarter, 1 big quarter by 100 bill, 100 quarter by 100 cheerleaders here, 100 quarter. I got 100 quarter hat to buy, 100 quarter half to buy, 100 quarter hat to buy, 100 quarter half. 1.5 here, 100 quarter, 100 and a half, 100 and a half, 100 quarter to buy, 100 quarter half now 75, 150 75 to buy, 150 75, go 75, you're out over here, go 75, 150 75, I'm at 150 here, go to 75, go 75, 150 go 75, 175 to buy, 150 here, go to 75, 175, you're out over here, 175, 150 go 75 to buy, 150 go 75, 175, 175, 150 go 75, 175, 175. Sold him 150. Becky Malin, 150. Come on down, Becky. Let's do no. These girls are waiting. They want to be picked. Here we go. Quarter. 100 mil, 100 quarter mile, 100 mil, 100 quarter here, 100 mil, 100 quarter mile, 100 quarter, 100 mil, 100 quarter mile, 1 quarter mile, quarter and a half, half, 100 and a half, gonna be 75. 175, I'm gonna do 2, 175, gonna be 2, and 2 to mile, 2 here, 2 quarter mile, 2 and a quarter. I'll be 2 bid, 2 to quarter mile, 2 and a quarter, 1 quarter mile, 2 and a quarter, and 2 here, 1 quarter mile, 2 1 quarter mile, 2 here, 1 quarter mile, 2 and a quarter. Last call, fair warning, 2 and a quarter. 2 here, 2 and a quarter mile, 2 and a quarter. Half, 2 and a quarter and a mile, 2 and a quarter half, 2 and a half, 2 and a quarter and a mile, 2 and a quarter and a half, 2 and a quarter, you 1 and a half. So up top, 2 and a quarter, come on down, 2 and a quarter, 2 and a quarter.
I think whoever brought these up there is such a kind-hearted person, aren't they? Making sure. I don't think football players need that. I don't think they need that in their life. You pay good hard money, they shouldn't just get to wipe it off that quick. These guys are excited. Remember,
Hey, don't be scared. Come on.
well, come up here and say something about yourself. Maybe talk about your facial hair or something. Right? Come on. Introduce yourself. First class.
Hey, bro, I got
Kobe Mosier. Mom, can you get the comments after this? Look at him. A man who knows how to plug the moment. I like that. My name's William Jeffrey. No interesting fact?
Nah, he's kind of weird.
Oh, come back, fellas. Since they gotta give us an interesting fact. Come on, Waylon. Come on, Waylon.
Hey, way to get back up there.
Look at you. They thought one was going to get away, and they's all going to get away with it.
My favorite sport's football.
There you go.
I like hunting and fishing. Next time it's going at my grand for the season. Let's go. My name's Jen. I just moved here. My name's Tristan Oscar. I'm in Ball. My name's Tristan Brown. And my name's Jared Sawyer. I like spending time in nature.
I just want you to know his voice isn't normally that deep. He put bass in that.
My name's Paul Rose, and I'm exactly the same. Dad Jones, and I'm like golf.
My name is Alex Sellers, and I like basketball.
My name's Pedro Casio Harris, and I love my girlfriend.
Little Casanova going on the team right here. I like that. All right. Don't let Casanova and this group get off easy right here.
Here we go. What do you give here? 200 on the line. 200. 200 on the line. What am I doing? 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 I do here, do where? What am I doing? What am I going to do? What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I going to do? What am I doing? What am I? How about second quarter? How do I do? 100 quarter line, 100 quarter. I got 100 here, 100 quarter line, 100 wheel, 100 quarter line, 100 quarter. One big quarter line, 100 wheel, 100 quarter line, 100 quarter, 1 quarter line, 100 wheel, 100 quarter. One. Half, 100 quarter, half to mile, 100 quarter and a half. You keep waving that, you go buy something, 100 quarter and a half, 100 quarter, half to mile, 100 quarter, half to mile, 100 quarter and a half, 100 quarter here, 100 half to mile, 100 quarter, half to mile, 100 quarter and a half, now 75. 175, gonna be 200, gonna do, 175, 200, gonna do, 2, what am I doing, 175, 2, I 2 to mile, 175, gonna be 200, gonna do, 200, gonna do, 175, 200, 200, 200, 175, 200. Sold 175, Lambert Farmer Range, 175.
Oh, they're all one of them. Hey, it's not bad to knock them off. Be brave, JJ. Be brave, JJ. I remember you came in. Do you want the side or you want to? We had a little bit of friendly fire there.
All right, let's do those. What do you say? 200, 200 I got a 2. I got 100, make it a quarter, 100 mil, 100 quarter mile, 100 quarter. One big quarter mile, 100 mil, 100 quarter mile here, 1 quarter mile, 100 quarter. I got 100 here, 100 quarter mile, 100 quarter, 1 quarter mile, 100 quarter. I got 100 here, 100 quarter mile, 100 quarter, 1 quarter mile, 100 mil, 100 quarter. 100 mil, 100 quarter mile, 100 mil, 100 quarter mile, 100 quarter. What do you think now? 100 quarter, 100 mil. Look at me, $100 starting. 100 quarter, 100 mil, 100 quarter mile. You up here, 100 mil, 100 quarter. Yeah, coach. 100 mil, 100 quarter mile, 100 mil, 100 quarter, half, 100 and a half, now 75. 100 50 75 to mile, 100 50 75, 175, 100 50 75. Sold 150 bucks.
Who won it?
Yeah, come on down, get to the eye of the face. How do you want that? What name do you want that under? BJ. BJ.
We're gonna have to put Titus on injured reserve after that. You guys are good. I'm afraid we might lose somebody. It's disorienting. He doesn't know where to walk.
No, you wear out them towels.
I thought he was gonna get a paper towel. You guys have a good day. Lovely cheerleaders, sophomores. Walking around looking for napkins and he didn't get it. What y'all think? We think we gotta have the cheerleading coaches show up here, don't we?
My name's Laney Yates. My name's Chloe Landry. My name's Isaac Carter.
All right, you can pick one here, and away we go. 200 mil to mile, 200. Thank you, a quarter. I mean, 2 and a quarter miles here, 1 and a quarter here, 2 and a quarter, 2 and a half. 2 and a quarter after mile, 2 and a quarter after that, 2 and a half, 75, 250, 75, 275, 300 miles, 375, 300 miles, 3, and 3 to mile, 275, 300 miles, 300 miles, 275, 300. And 300 miles, 275, going to be 333, 275 here, going to be 300 miles, 275, 3. And 300 miles, 275, going to be 300 miles, 275, going to be 300 miles, 275, 3. Last call, 300, 275, 300. And a quarter, and a half, 3 and a half, 3 and a quarter at the bound, 3 and a quarter at the bound, 3 and a quarter at the bound, 3 and a quarter and a half, 3 and a quarter at the bound, 3 and a quarter and a half, now 75, now 400, and 400, 375, 4 to bound, 375, 400, and 4 to bound, 375, 4 to bound, 400 to bound, 375, 400, all in and all done, 4 to bound, 375, 400, total 375, 375.
It's getting contentious with the cheerleaders up here. Thank you, ladies. I think that's good right now. They act surprised like they didn't know they was up next. Oh, us? Look at them. They're excited. Look at them smiles. They're fired up about life. I need the audience really to understand what makes you tick. Introduce yourself, tell us some interesting fact. Look at him, he did get a plug in right there.
My name's John Green, and God loves you all. My name's Landon Yates, and I like football. My name's Rob Duggins, and it's my brother's birthday. My name's Trip James, and I love my mom. And I love interceptions. My name's Tristan Denny, add my snap, T Denny 54. My name's Craig Carter, and I play football.
Is that a question?
My name's Robert Stafford, and I like pancakes. How we talking? My name's Tate Griffin. Hi, Spencer.
All right, they've all come up here. Let's see how much we love them, how we bid on them.
Good looking sophomore group here. What do y'all give? $200 stardom, 200 a quarter by 2 and a quarter. I mean, 2 bid, 2 and a quarter by 2, 1 and a quarter by 2 and a quarter. Maybe 2, 1 and a quarter by 2 here. Quarter and a half to buy 2 and a half, got to 75. 275 to buy, 2 to 75, go 75, 2 to 75. 75, 300 to buy, 300 a quarter, half, 3 and a half, 3 and a half, now 75. 375 to buy, 300 go 75, go 75, 300 go 75. 375, 350 go here, 75, 375. 350 bid 75. 350 here, gonna be 75, go 75. I mean, 350, 375, 400, and a quarter, 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 half, quarter, half, 4 and a half, 75, 500. And quarter about 5, and quarter about 5 here, 5 quarter about 5 quarter, 75 here, 5 quarter, 5 quarter, 5 and a half, 5 and a half, now 75, 575, 475, 575, 475 to buy, 475, 575, 475, 600 to buy, 600, 600, and 600 to buy, 575, 600 to buy, it's being used, 600, 575, 600 to buy, 600 to buy, 600 to buy, 600, 600, 575, 600 and quarter to buy, 6 and quarter, and a quarter bounds here, 6 and quarter bounds, 6 and quarter, 6 and quarter. I mean 6 here, 6 and quarter bounds, 6 and quarter, and a quarter bounds here, 1 and quarter bounds, 6 and quarter bounds, 6 and quarter here, 1 and quarter, 6 and quarter, 6 and quarter, all in, all done, 600, 6 and quarter. So 600. Miss Black, how do you want that?
Look at him trying to act like it's not him.
Let's go with the crowd.
Another one? Oh, that sure wouldn't be through, Coach. They sure wouldn't be through. I know it. All right, do it again. 2 and a bill, 2 and a quarter, 2 and a quarter, 2 and a half. Gonna be 75. 275, 300 by 3, 3, 3 here, 3 and a quarter by 3 and a quarter half, and 3 and a half, 3 and a half. You bid man, 3 and a half, 3 and a quarter here, gonna be half, gonna be half, 3 and a half, 3 and a half. Gonna be 75, 375, 400, and 4 by 375, 4 by 4, 40, 4 by 375, 4, and 4 by 375, 4 by 4, 400. I mean, I got 4 here, gotta be quarter by 4, quarter, half, 4 and a half, gotta be 75, 4 to 75, 500, and 500 by 475, 400 by 5, Kevin, you want 500, 475, 500, 500, and 475, 500. Thank you, quarter here, 5 1/4, 5 1/2 here, 5 1/4. You want a half, 5 1/2, 5 1/2, 5 1/4, 5 1/2, 5 1/2, 5 1/2, 5 1/4 at the bottom, 5 1/4 1/2, 5 1/2, 5 1/4. You would have to buy 5 1/4 half, 5 1/4. Now 75, 550, 75, 575, 600, buy 600, 575, 600, 600 here, 6 1/4, and 6 1/4, buy 6 1/4, 6 1/4, 6 1/4. You want to 6 1/4, 6 here, 6 1/4, buy 6 1/4, 6 1/4. So 600. Here they come.
Give me cash.
Pretty and printed. Hey, if you want to come on down and start paying these ladies, it'll help them out when they at the end of the deal. After we're through, come on down and pay them.
Get him!
Place tomorrow, obviously they are ready to go.
Hey, let's do another one. I like that one. Right there, 100 and a quarter mile, 100 mile, 100 quarter. 1 big quarter here, 1 1/4, 1 1/2 mile, 100 and a half, 175, 175, 200. And 2 here, 2 1/4 mile, 2 1/4, you would have 2 1/2, 2 1/2, 2 1/4 half, now 75, 300, thank you, 1/4. I mean 3 1/4 mile, 3 1/4, 3 1/2, come to 75, 375, 350 to 75, 375. I mean 350 to 75, about 350 to 75, 400. I'm 400 about 375, 400 about 440 before, 375, 400, and 1/4 about 4 1/4. 4 1/2, 4 1/4, 4 1/2, 4 1/2, 4 1/2. Now 75, 475, 475, 400 about, and 500 here, 500, 1/4 half, 5 1/2, 5 1/2, 5 1/4 half to mile, 5 1/4 half. You got me a half, coach. You got 5 1/4, 5 1/2. 5, your man's out. You shoot out, well, they're out. 5 1/4, 5 1/2, 5 1/4, you have to buy 5 1/2. 5 1/2. Now 75, by 75, 75, 600. And 605, 75, 605, 575, 600, 600, 575, 600, and I have stolen 575. Justin Agency, Justin Insurance Agency, thank you.
Oh, you want to do what? You want to go? What do you say we do one more? Look at Frank smiling. Let's go.
Junior cheerleader. We got option A, option B, D.
Really quick, we're going to introduce one who's not here. So, Caitlin King.
My name's Maddie, and I'm a junior, and I love my Aunt Carrie, and don't you forget it. My name's Madison, and I'm a junior.
All I can say is one of you are going to get it. All right, here we go. 100 mil, 100 quarter mile, quarter and a half, 75, going to be 200 here, 200 quarter mile, 200 quarter and a half, 2.5, going to be 75, 275, 300 mile, 3 here, 3, 275, 300, and 275, 300 mile, 275, going to be 300 mile, 300, and 275, 300 mile, 275, 300 mile, going to be 3, 275, 300, 275, do number 300, last call, 300, 275, 300. And a quarter, 3 and a quarter, half, 3 and a half, 3 and a quarter, half. Sold with 3 and a quarter, and Carrie, 3 and a quarter. She loves you.
I don't feel like we have this animosity with parents and football players. I don't know what it is. Thank you, junior cheerleaders. Now let's see if they actually promise you. Junior football players! Oh no, look at them like all this. All right, Phil. Remember, we need an interesting fact about you. We know you all love football.
My name is Greg Bruner. Spencer's probably my best friend, and y'all all pretty cool. And there's
Don't hold the ball.
My name's David Gomez, and there's only one Oklahoma, the Angel State.
My name's Jackson Cox, roll tide roll. I'm Joe Remus, and I'm Batman. I'm Doug Manning, and William City.
Literally, you always hear me walk around the house all day saying, I'm back. From
Brady
Stone
Forward, and I got nothing.
I'm JC Cox and I'm the water girl. I'm Kelly Hart and I'm the water girl.
My name is Lane Childs, and my teacher, Slater, he said I wouldn't amount to anything. Maybe he was right.
Bo Black, Mr. Slater's my least favorite teacher.
My name is Gavin Baker. Coach Parker likes to yell at me a lot. I don't know why.
My name is Jordan Hardy, I'm Coach Hargis.
My name is Memphis Shawnette, and I can do a backflip.
My name is Steve Lowe.
Nick, you gotta let us in, man. You gotta let us know what makes you tick. What is some interesting fact we don't know about Taniki Lowe?
Y'all know me.
That's called order right there. That's called swag.
All right, here, let's see here. What do you give here? 200 bucks stardom, 200. I'm in to here, 1 2 2 quarter mile, 2 quarter mile here, 2 quarter mile, 2 quarter half, 2.5, 275, 275 mile, 275, 275 mile, 275, 300, and a quarter mile, 3 and a quarter, 3 and a quarter, half, 3 and a quarter, half the mile, and a half, 375, 375, now 400 mile, 400 quarter mile, 4 and a quarter, half. Quarter after five, quarter after five, quarter after four, after 75, 475, quarter, quarter, five and a half, five and a half, five and a half. Now 75, 575, 600, 600, 575, 600, 575, 575, 600, 575, 600, and 600, 600, 575, 600, 575, 600. 600, 600, 600, quarter, 5, 6 and a quarter, 6 and 6 and a quarter, 6 and a quarter, 6 and a quarter, I mean, 6 and a quarter, 6 and a half here, 6 and a quarter at the bottom, 6 and a quarter, half, 6 and a quarter and a half, 6 and a quarter, 6 and a half, and I have 6 and a quarter. Jay's Pest Control. Hey, let's do another one. That's 200 on me on the bottom, and a quarter. I mean, 2 and a quarter by here, 1 quarter by 2 and a quarter, 1 quarter by 2 and a quarter, half of that, 2 and a quarter by 2 and a quarter, half of that, 2 and a quarter and a half. I have to buy 2 and a quarter, have to buy 2 and a quarter, half that, 2 and a quarter, have to buy 2 and a half, 2 and a quarter, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, that's 75, that's 300. I have 300 here, 275, 300 by 275, 300, and 3 to buy, 275, 300 by 275, 300, and a quarter by 3 and a quarter, 3 and a quarter, 3 and a half, and I have to buy 3 and a quarter, have to buy 3 and a quarter, half that, 3 and a half, gonna be half, 3 and a quarter, 3 and a half, and I have to buy 3 and a quarter, half of that, 3 and a quarter, have to buy 3 and a quarter and a half. Last call, fair warning, 3 and a quarter, 3 and a half. 3 and a quarter, now 75, now 400, and 400, and 400, and a quarter, 4 and a quarter, 4 and a quarter, 4 and a half, 4 and a quarter, had to buy 4 and a quarter and a half, and a half, 4 and a quarter, had to buy 4 and a quarter and a half, and a half to buy 4 and a half, year and a 4 and a quarter, year and a half, now 75, 475 is now 500, 500 to buy, 475 to be 500 to buy, 500 to buy, and a quarter by here, 5 and a quarter by 5 and a quarter, I mean 5 and a quarter by here, 1 and a quarter by 5 and a quarter, about there, 5 and a quarter by 5 here, 1 and a quarter by 5 here, 1 and a quarter by 5 and a quarter, 5 and a quarter, 5 and a quarter, 5 here, 5 and a quarter by 5 and a quarter. Half, 5 and a quarter, 5 and a half, 5 and a quarter, 5 and a half. You say 5 and a half, 5 and a half, now 75. 575, 450 75, to buy 50 75, 150 75, 150 75. Last call is fair warning, I sold them $550. 550, thank you.
Now listen, there's a high standard set on the last pie.
That being the Josh Black family, thank you.
I want y'all to know, 6th grade here, this bunch right here, made it to the semifinals. Started out with 13 players, ended up with 11. But I had one guy that didn't come out and play for me after me begging and begging and begging. And I don't hold you grudge, Abe, but your teammates might. Did you hear me say that was a long time ago? That's why it's called a grudge, Abe. You might even think you're going to go.
Look at Bo. 5 years in the making right here.
Hey, Bo, you got to wind up on that.
Bo said moving up to quarterback.
Let's do one more, they say. All right there, $100 there, $100, quarter mile, quarter half down 75, 200, quarter mile, quarter mile, quarter mile, quarter. I mean, two and a quarter, quarter half, two and a half, quarter round about, quarter and a half. One and a half to mile, two and a quarter, two and a half, that's 75. Now 300 to mile, 275, maybe 300. I'm 3 to mile, 275, 300, quarter and a half, three and a half, three and a quarter, half. Now 75, 375. And 360, now 75, 375, 400. And 400 here, 4 and a quarter mile, 4 and a quarter. I mean, 4 and a half, 4 and a quarter, 4 and a half. Now 75. Now 400 mile, 5, Kevin, you got me 500. And 500, quarter mile, 5 and a quarter. 5 and a quarter mile, 5 here, 5 and a quarter mile, 5 and a quarter. I mean, 5 and a quarter mile, here, 5 and a quarter, 5 and a quarter, 5 and a quarter, 5 and a quarter mile, 5 here, 5 and a quarter. Leon, 5 and a quarter, 5 and a quarter, half. 5 and a half, 5 and a quarter, half. 5 and a quarter, half. 5 and a half, 5 and a half, 5 and a quarter, half. 5 and a quarter, half. 5 and a quarter, half. 5 and a quarter and a half, 5 and a half. So 5 and a quarter, Leon there, 5 and a quarter.
Hey, you gonna go over that top rope?
Hi, my name is Hi, my name is Peyton Steve. Hi, my name is Riley Eccles. Hi, my name is Elizabeth Swadley. Hi, my name is Chloe, and there is one Oklahoma and it doesn't end in state.
All right, ladies, here we go. Moving 200 all middle line, 200, a quarter mile, 2 here, 2 and a quarter mile, 2 and a quarter, 2 here, 1 and a quarter mile, 2 and a quarter. I mean, 2 and a quarter mile here, 1 and a quarter mile, 2 and a quarter mile, 2 and a quarter. And a quarter mile here, 2 and a quarter, 2 and a half. And a half mile, 2 and a half, going to be 75. 275, 275, 3 and a 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. And a quarter mile, 3, 1 and a quarter mile, 3 and a quarter mile, 3 and a quarter, sir. And a quarter mile, 3 and a quarter, and a half, 3 and a half. And a half, 3 and a quarter, down 75, 375, 375 to mile, 375, 375 to mile, 375, 375, and now 400 mile, 375, 400, and a quarter mile, 4 minutes, 4 and a quarter mile, 3 and a quarter mile, 4 and a quarter, 4 minutes, quarter, half, 4 and a half, 4 and a quarter, 4 and a half, 4 and a half to be 75, 475. Quarter minute 75 to mile, quarter minute 75, 475, 500 to mile, 500 to mile, and a quarter mile, 3, 5 and a quarter mile, 3, 1 and a quarter mile, 5 and a quarter, sir. 5 and a quarter, 5 and a quarter, 5 and a quarter, 5 and a quarter, 5 and a half, 5 and a half, 5 and a quarter at the mile, 5 and a quarter and a half, 5 and a quarter here, 5 and a half to mile, 5 and a quarter at the mile, 5 and a quarter and a half. Last call, you're making it 5 and a quarter and a half, 5 and a half, 5 and a quarter, 5 and a half. 75, 575 to mile, 575, 575, 575, 575 to mile, 575, and now 600, 600 to mile, 575, 600, and 600, 575, 600 to mile, 600, sold 575, 575. Eccles Landing Cattle, Eccles Landing Cattle.
At least it'll taste good. Well, you don't want it. Wait, don't get in my
All right, ladies, line back up there. I think we can do another one. Don't act so excited about it. Here we go. 200, quarter mile, 2 minutes, 2 quarter mile, 2, 1 quarter mile, 100 bucks, quarter mile, 100 quarter. 100 mile, 100 quarter mile, 100 quarter, 1 quarter, half, half, 75, 200, and 2 mile, 2 quarter mile, 2 quarter, 2 quarter, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a quarter. 275, 275, 275, the line, 300 mile, 3, and quarter mile, 3 here, 1 quarter mile, 3 and a quarter, quarter mile, 3 and a quarter, and a quarter half, 3 and a half, 3 and a half, 3 and a quarter, half the mile, 3 and a quarter, half, 3 and a quarter, 3 and a half, 3 and a quarter, half the mile, 3 and a quarter, half the mile, 3 and a quarter and a half, 3 and a quarter, 3 and a half, 3 and a half, now 75, now 400, and 400, and a quarter mile, 4 and a quarter, 4 and a half, 4 and a quarter, half the mile, you said I want to go, 4 and a quarter, 4 and a half, 4 and a quarter, 4 and a half, 4 and a quarter, 4 and a half, 4 and a half, 4 and a half, sold at 4 and a quarter. Chuck Lee, 4 and a quarter.
Why let this senior memory slip from one of y'all who need it so much? Let's get a third copy of that senior memory.
Here we go. 200 on the other mile. 200. And good quarter mile. 2 and a quarter. I mean, 2 bid, 2 and a quarter mile here, 1 quarter mile here, 1 quarter mile, 2 and a quarter. I mean, 2 bid, 2 and a quarter mile here, 1 quarter mile, 2 and a quarter mile here, 2 and a quarter mile, 2 and a quarter. I mean, 2 bid, 2 and a quarter mile, 2 and a quarter, 1 quarter mile here, 1 quarter mile, 2 and a quarter, and 2 here, 2 quarter mile, 2 and a quarter. Last and final offering, 2 and a quarter, 2 and a quarter, and 2 bid, 2 and a quarter mile, 2 and a quarter, and 2 here, 1 quarter mile, 2 and a quarter, 1 quarter, 1 quarter, 2 and a half, 2 and a quarter at the mile, 2 and a half, now 75. You say 300 and a quarter. I mean, 3 bid, 3 and a quarter mile, 3 and a quarter mile, 3 and a quarter, and 3 here, 3 and a quarter mile, 3 and a quarter off, 3 and a quarter. Sold it, 300 up top, 3 bids.
This is for her mama.
Your last opportunity ever.
on down. Right now, we're not going to do more than two. We might only do one. We'll see. Come on and smile. This is your moment. Could this be the group, the first group since 1964 to hold that gold ball? Here's another fun fact for this group. If this group wins 11 games this year, which is one of the goals, they will be the winningest group to ever come through Holyoke schools. That being said,
I like a long walk on the beach and deep conversation.
this right here is an intelligent man. He looks to me like he wanted me to talk. Y'all hear still from John? Alright, we gotta use the deep voice.
I'm Chase Foraker, and I'm Water Supply.
I'm Cameron Swayze, and I play hookup for MLP.
Here we go! There's a man that's come over to the light.
My name's Alec Arjo. Maddie, people be mad, but Drew's my favorite. I am the Aaron Torres, and I love to beatbox.
How could you not want to buy that?
All right, I'm gonna get senior class here. Who will be 1,000 of them in the line? Start off with 1,000. Out of 1,000 here, we do 500 pounds, 500 here, 500 pounds, 500 here, 500 pounds. I'm 500 here, 500 pounds. We're thinking a quarter, 2 and a quarter. I mean 2 and a quarter, 2 and a quarter, 2 here, 1 quarter, quarter and a half, 2 and a quarter, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a quarter, 2 and a quarter and a half, 2 and a half to buy, 2 and a quarter, 2 and a quarter, 2 and a quarter and a half. And a half here, 2 and a quarter, 2 and a half, 2 and a quarter, have to buy 2 and a half. Now 75, 275, 250 to 75, 275, now 300, and 300 by 275, 300 by 275, 300, and 300 to 3 to the, and a quarter by 3 and a quarter. I mean 3 and a quarter by 3 and a quarter half, 3 and a half, 3 and a half, 3 and a quarter, have to buy 3 and a quarter half, and a half, 3 and a half, 3 and a half, 3 and a quarter, have to buy 3 and a quarter half, 3 and a quarter, 3 and a half, now 75, 375 to mile, now 400, and 400 miles, 375, 400, and a quarter mile, 4 and a quarter, 4 here, 4 and a quarter mile, 4 and a quarter, 4 and a quarter, 4 and a half, 4 and a half, 4 and a half, 4 and a half, now 75, 475, 500, and 500 here, back to 500, 500 here, 500 and a half, 1/4 mile, 5 here, 5 and a quarter, 5 and a quarter mile, 5 and a quarter here, 5 and a quarter, 5 here, 5 and a quarter, 5 and a quarter mile, 5 here, 5 and a quarter mile, 5 and a quarter, last is final offering of 500 and a quarter, now half, 5 and a half, 5 and a half, and now 75, 575, now 600. We're getting closer to that 1,000 mark. 600 and a quarter mile, 6 and a quarter, 6 and a quarter, and a half. 6. Did you say 1,000? 6 and a quarter. I saw that like that. Just want to make sure. 6 and a quarter, 6 and a half, 6 and a half, 6 and a half. Now 675, 675. Now 700 and 700, 700. 700, 700, and a quarter, 7 and a quarter miles, 7 and a quarter, let's see how far they'll go, 7 and a quarter, 7 here, 7 and a quarter miles, 7 and a quarter, and 7 here, 7 and a quarter miles, 7 and a quarter, and 7 and a quarter miles, 7 and a quarter, all in and all done, 7 and a quarter. Did you want to give 1,000, man? Just asking. I got 700 with you, 7 and a quarter. Sold it to you for $700. Thank you very much. Come on down to the pile of tape. San Luis, thank you guys. Come on down. We'll go there and eat after this. Come on down and pay too before we get ready to leave. That way make it easy for the girls. Hey, well, before they do that, Cheers selling t-shirts down here. Now come down and get your t-shirt. Cheers selling t-shirts. For OC night. OC.
Sam said do one more. All right, Sam, you told me.
Here we go. Senior night. Last call. Here we go. 100 mil, 100 quarter mile, 100 quarter. 100 mil, 100 quarter, half about 100, half gonna be 75, 175. 175, gonna be 200, gonna be 2, 175, 200 back, gonna be 2. I ain't 2 to 175, 2 quarter mile, 2 quarter. I mean 2 quarter, half about 2 quarter, half to mile. I ain't 2 quarter, half to mile, 2 quarter and a half. I and a half here, 2 quarter, half to mile, 2 quarter and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 quarter, half to mile, 2 quarter and a half. Last call, half. You over here, 2 quarter, 2 and a half. 2 quarter, half to mile, 2 quarter and a half. 2 and a half. Now 75, 275, 300, and 300. Thank you, quarter mile, 3 quarter. 3 quarter, 3 and a half. 3 and a half, 3 and a half. Now 75, 375, 400 a mile, 4 375, 4 a mile, 400. And a quarter mile, 4 quarter here, 4 quarter. And a half, 4 and a half, 4 and a half. 4 quarter, half a mile, 4 and a half, 75, 475, 475. And now 500, 500 a mile, 5, and a quarter mile, 4 quarter mile, 5 and a quarter. 5 and a quarter, 5 and a half, 5 and a half, 5 and a half, 5 and a quarter, half a mile, 5 and a half, going to be 75, 575, 600 a mile, and 600, sir, 600 a mile, 600, and 600 a mile, 600 and a quarter a mile, 6 and a quarter, I'll be 6 here, 6 and a quarter a mile, 6 and a quarter, and a half here, 6 and a half, 6 and a half a mile, 6 and a quarter, and a mile, 6 and a quarter and a half. 6 and a half, 6 and a half, and now 75, 675, 675, 675, and now 700, 700 a mile, 675, quarter to 7, and 700, and a quarter mile, 7 and a quarter, $1,000, $1,000, thank you. I got 1,000, now 1,100, I got 1,000 here, 11 about, 1,000 here, 11 about, 1,000 here, and 1,100. Sold $1,000, thank you. Harry Swayze. All right, good enough. Hey, also the quarterback club selling t-shirts and hats right down here. You guys need to see both these people and get you some shirts, hats, and here we go. Start the season off.
Now we got a little tradition. This year we usually bring the coaches up here. Come on, coaches. Come on, coaches. Cheer coaches. Oh, look at them. They cheer coaches. You know they came up here to be good on.
pie.
Can y'all please get DJ? Please.
I mean, look, he wants to be no other place right now, Coach Johnson. So we're going to have just one pie. If the cheerleaders win, they get the money. If the football coaches get pie, they get the money. I mean, you couldn't have a better cast of guys up here and ladies.
All right, do one pie. Whoever wins it gets to pick between the cheerleaders and the coach. It'll be 1,000 for this one. What do you get? 500. I did 500 here. 5 back, 200, they get a quarter by 2 and a quarter. On a half here. 2 and a quarter at the back, 2 and a quarter here. 2 and a quarter at the back, 2 and a quarter half. On a half the back, 2 and a quarter, 2 and a half, 2 and a quarter at the back. On a half here. 2 and a quarter, half the back, 2 and a quarter half. On a half the back, 2 and a quarter at the wood. You give $100 start and everybody off to. And a quarter, thank you. And a quarter back, and 100 here, 100 quarter back, 100 quarter. And 100 here, 100 quarter back, 100 quarter, 1 quarter back, quarter and a half. 75, 175. And now 200 back, 200 quarter back, and a half. 2 and a half, now 75. 275, 300 back, 300 quarter back, 3 and a quarter. I mean, 3 and a quarter back, 3 and a quarter, 3 and a quarter. 3 and a quarter, 3 and a quarter, 3 and a quarter, 3 and a quarter. 3 and a quarter, 3 and a half, 3 and a half. Now 75, 375, 375, 375, 375, 375, 400, and 400, 400, and a quarter by 4 and a quarter, 4 and a quarter, 4 and a half, 4 and a half about 4 and a quarter, and about 4 and a quarter and a half, 4 and a half, 4 and a quarter, and about 4 and a quarter and a half, 4 and a half. Now 75, 450, 75, 475. You're all down here. 500, 500, 500, 500, 475, 500 about 475, 500, and a quarter by 5 and a quarter, 5 and a quarter by 5 here, 5 and a quarter, 5 and a quarter, 5 here, 5 and a quarter, 5 and a quarter. I sold them 500. St. Louis, thank you very much. Real quick, go by and see these people that have purchased these individuals, these pies. They do a great job. Thank you for coming out and supporting the teams. Come down and get the pick. You get to pick who you want to throw the pie at. Oh, here you go. Okay.